Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for watching this session of your favorite show, Voices with Claire. On set today, we have our Mr. Shegu, as usual, the man of God that I respect so much. I respect people who have a heart for others. He is so humble and always there for people. Trust me, when you get to meet people like this, you can never take them for granted. So, guys, today Mr. Shegu will be talking to us about this thing that has been destroying our relationships, and we do not even know why or how to deal with it. Infidelity. Nice to have you on set today.
Yeah,
Mr.
pleasure.
Shegu.
My pleasure.
It's mine too. Thank you so much for always being here.
Mhm.
So, I'd like to find out from you, what is your definition of infidelity?
All right, infidelity is, keep it simple, is being unfaithful.
Mm.
You know, when you're being unfaithful to your partner, when you do some things that your partner should not know about, when she hears about it, she gets infuriated, get annoyed. That is infidelity. It's trying to do some things that are going against both of you. You're going against your agreement. You've made a decision to be together, and you're trying to do some other things in other people. Cheating.
Mhm.
Simply put, unfaithfulness is infidelity.
Right. So when we hear the word infidelity, our minds just go directly to you men. Why do you think that?
I don't know why it's that, but it's not only men that are practicing infidelity. Women these days also do that. In fact, you see a lot of stuffs happening around women these days. You'll be shocked. So yeah, it's just a normal, mentality that when you hear about infidelity, it's about men. Nope, women also engage in infidelity.
But do you think maybe it has to do with the fact that men have been in it a lot, or maybe the percentage of people who are unfaithful are men or something?
Yes, I would agree that there was a time when infidelity is mostly found among men. Men, every time. When you look at a situation, when you find out what's the problem, you see that it's a man who's been involved in infidelity. But the thing is, these days, women also practice infidelity. And you'll be shocked when you find out maybe the man is just, loving, caring, always there for her and all that. And then you realize that this woman is just cheating. And you begin to wonder why. So yeah, sometimes in the past, it used to be found, mainly amongst men. But these days, you find it also happening in women. And it's just so appalling.
I was so touched with this, I just jumped into it without anything. So guys, give me 1 minute, we will take a very short break and we will be back. So welcome back, guys. Before we went on break, we were talking about infidelity. We're diving straight into it because this topic is something that is going to fix a lot of things in our lives. So, Mr. Shegu, do you buy the idea that all men cheat?
I wouldn't buy that idea. Okay. Not all men cheat. Yeah, not all men. Just for you having the mentality that does all women cheat? No.
Right.
So all men do not cheat.
Right.
Some men are still loyal, some men are still faithful, some men are still honest to the core.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, scientists say infidelity to some extent is hereditary. From your experience, as a man who have lived in both in Africa and in America, what do you think about that?
I totally, to an extent, disagree.
Okay.
Infidelity is not hereditary. I've known of friends who their fathers used to be polygamists, who had 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 wives, and they just have a wife. So I've seen several cases like that. So for someone to say, because my father had 3 or 4 wives or was into promiscuity, means I too should go that. Some of our parents were not born again. Some of our parents never knew Jesus, and so that's why they engage in a lot of this, funny affairs. So that does not necessarily mean any of their offspring, like a man, because the father gave birth to him, then he should now start practicing promiscuity. I don't agree to that. So it's not necessarily the case.
So when we talk of infidelity, do you think it's about a man just, okay, for instance, a man jumps out there and just maybe drinks and gets drunk and falls into some one night stand thing and comes back home. Is that infidelity, or do you think infidelity has a lot more to do with a man's body, mind, and soul being with another person? You know.
Yeah. So infidelity is so deep for you to practice it. The one I stand on is just maybe you might say is under the influence of alcohol. But I want to say something. Alcohol brings out your desires.
Right.
Alcohol brings out your passion. So it doesn't necessarily mean because I'm tipsy and all that, and then I start practicing infidelity. No, it's the state of the mind. So what you want to do, you do, regardless of being high or regardless of being drunk. So infidelity is something that is so deep that it has to do with lack of contentment. If you are not contented with what you have, then you get yourself into infidelity. You are not contented about your partner who has come your way. You are not proud of that woman or that man, then you are bound to commit infidelity. If you don't appreciate who God has given to you or who God has made him or her to come your way, then you will practice infidelity. So there's so many things attached to when an individual just makes up his mind that yes, I want to start somebody else.
Right.
So it's some people might call it spiritual, because when you love somebody deeply, it will be very, very difficult. I'm not saying anybody is a saint, and I'm not saying people cannot be tempted and all that, but when you love somebody deeply, it will be very rare, it will be very difficult for you to practice infidelity. So that's my take on that, because you cannot say you love somebody deeply and you respect and appreciate somebody deeply, and both of you have an agreement, being together and all that, and somehow along the line you just want to start seeing somebody else. It's not really right.
Right. So someone said, this was a situation that came at our way, and someone just said, okay, if she has cheated on you, why don't you go and cheat too? So the equation will balance. What is your advice to a couple who has heard a thing like that?
No, two wrongs cannot make it right. It's not. My advice is don't do that. Even if your partner has cheated on you, it's for you to make it right. But you're saying that you want to start cheating, or okay, because he has practiced infidelity, I also want to do my own back, and and then we settle this course. No, that is not Christ-like. Okay, somebody has made a mistake, maybe by mistake or by commission or by omission or by intentionally practice infidelity. It's not for the other partner to say, okay, because you've done this, I want us to do that. No, sit down, dialogue. Why did it happen? Find out the reasons. Sometimes, I'm not saying there's a justified reason why people practice infidelity, but sometimes some people will have something to say why they did it.
Right.
So sit down with your partner, analyze situations, ask questions. Why did this happen? Was there anything that led to it? And then you kind of resolve it, because most of the times when we don't resolve issues, infidelity sometimes leads to divorce. That's if you're married. Or if you're not married and you're with a partner and someone or one of the partner practices infidelity, the relationship might break. So the thing is that when a partner unfortunately finds itself in that situation, the other partner should just say, oh, because you've done that, let me also do mine. No, sit down, resolve the issues. I always believe in negotiations and discussions. I believe in you when you don't discuss about things, you just allow things to just go. And you believe you settled? No, sit down and discuss it. Talk about it. You could be shy about it, but talk about it. This was the reason why I did this. The man or the woman should be able to come out open and say, okay, it will not repeat itself again. But for the other partner to say, oh, because you've done this, I have to do my return, it's not something to be emulated.
And do you think a relationship that has been affected by infidelity can be repaired?
Oh yes, it can. Never say never. Never say never. I've seen several situations.
So you're not for this thing that they say, trust broken can never be?
No, I am not for that. Because if I've made a mistake based on a particular assumption or something, and you want to judge me by the mistake, or you want to judge me by my past, if I've been a very bad boy, in quotes, in the past, and now you're seeing me now and saying because, oh, Shegun used to be a bad person, and you are describing me or picturing me with that past mentality, then you're wrong. So I don't believe in okay, because this person has done this before, then that person cannot change. Change is a constant thing in life. We change every time, and that's why you see men who have been so promiscuous in the past are now pastors.
Right.
You see women who have been so misleading in the past are now pastors. You see a lot of people who have done a lot of things in the past. When they give their testimony, you'll be shocked that, oh, so you've gone through all this. So never say never. Anybody can change. Don't say because you're in a relationship and your partner has fallen into infidelity and then that's it. You can't change. Is this kind of person? No. Always give a second chance. But some people, after doing one, they do the second one, they do the third one. Some people need to do once.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So, what do you think about a man? When they say a man can love you and still cheat on you, do you accept that?
I don't totally accept that. Because when you love a woman, like I said, it's going to be very difficult for you to cheat. Because the totality of your being is invested in that woman. You don't see any other person more attractive than that person. You don't see anything more valuable than that person. You don't see anything more enticing about any other person. Everything that matters is that lady. Everything that matters is that man. So you cannot say you love someone and then you still cheat on that person. It's not right. It's not. I see this most of the time when you say I love my wife, but I still have a side chick out there. It's not right. When you love, you love. It's either you're not in love and you just want to do anything you want to do. Because that happened to me when I was still in the world. I used to be a bad boy. When I say bad boy, I mean a bad boy. And for the first time in my life, I've always been attending weddings. And the priest will always ask you, or the pastor will ask you, for better, for worse. Will you take this woman as thy wedded wife? For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer,
Right.
in sickness and health. For the first time in my life, on my wedding day, that realization dawned on me. I did not answer it abruptly. I did not answer that question, oh yes, I do. No, I had to think about it. People thought maybe this guy is under a spell because people started becoming uncomfortable. But I kept quiet for a long time. I wanted to be sure.
Right.
If anything happens to this woman, she had an accident or one eye is taken off, you still have to love her.
Right.
Oh, she is involved in an accident, they had to amputate her leg. She has one leg now, you have to staple there. So love is deep. You cannot say you love somebody and come on and you cheat. No. If some people's definition is I love and I can still want to have somebody by the side, well, but that is not right. Naturally, spiritually, it is not right. So I had to be sure that day that I meant those words. And before I said I do, I really looked at her. So if anything happens, come rain, come sunshine, you still have to stick to that woman.
Yeah.
So I think I was convinced that day that yes, I have to take this decision.
So, what do you think are some of the causes of infidelity in relationships?
Sometimes, number one, peer group. Peer group. Show me your friend, I'll tell who you are. Sometimes when maybe a partner, a guy or a lady who is in a relationship, flocks around people who are so promiscuous. Some ladies are just so promiscuous. If you ask them why they do that, it's just their nature. And you find out that those people are your friends. Some along the line, you begin to become like them. And then you start becoming, unfaithful to your partner. So number one, peer group matters a lot. You'll see a lady who is so nice, who is so faithful to her partner and all that. But once they start mixing with some particular set of people, you'll be shocked about their behavioral pattern. It changes, just like that, because of the association they keep, the people they mingle with, the discussions they have. Because I can't be your friend and come to your house and I say, okay, and I know who you're with, and I'm seeing somebody else. Somehow along the line, they will introduce you to that life, and then they start practicing infidelity. So number one, peer group. Number two, some people practice infidelity because they believe in their head that they are far away from where their partner is. For example, okay, I have a contract to do a meeting, not in Maryland, maybe in Chicago, and I just said, okay, let me just go. And the first one, I've discussed this with a friend before. You see, when you are alone in an hotel room and you're lying down on that bed, when you see that bed, the first thing that comes to your mind, forget spirituality. Man, I need the company here. I need a lady here, I need a girl here. I don't know about ladies how they reason when they're alone in the hotel room. The first that comes to a man's mind is companionship. and you begin to know that, okay, my wife is not here, my partner is not here, my spouse is not here, I could do anything and she might not know. So sometimes distance matters a lot. Sometimes people just take that, and when they do it, they just clean their mouth, tidy up stuff, and they come back home and but you have practiced infidelity because you went somewhere that was far from home, and you just use that opportunity. That's scenery. This is a different place, far from home. Let me use this opportunity because nobody's going to see me. No, So if he's been that kind of person, has been so careful, he has the mentality and that mindset that I'm far away from home, I can practice infidelity. So that's another reason why people practice infidelity. And number three, number one, I said about peer group, peer influence. Number two, I talked about far away from home. Number three, why people practice infidelity is just that lack of being satisfaction. You are not just satisfied. You see, human beings' needs are unsatisfiable. I understand that. But when you are not just satisfied with what you have, you are not proud about what you have. When what you have, you don't value it. You go into infidelity. It's a normal thing. You have a lady, a spouse, or a partner, and for some reason she just somebody else all of a sudden matters more than her. Then there's a problem with practicing infidelity. So when you don't value your partner, when you don't appreciate who she is, you see somebody else and you begin to value somebody else's gift, whereas what you have is even more better. But because you have not just you've refused to appreciate that person and try and let her know that you appreciate her, then you begin to get yourself involved in things like that. So I've seen that also happening in a lot of cases where somehow a guy was in a relationship with a lady, and then I don't know, for some reason met another lady somewhere, and she started valuing this lady over his partner. Why? Is that she was more intelligent? She speaks more fluently than your partner. So you see, this is inferiority complex. And he started engaging in infidelity. Just because of reasons like that. This lady now can express herself very well. My partner is shy. Anytime we go to a party, she's always quiet, she's always timid. When they ask her questions, she cannot contribute in a round table discussions. But this other lady, she can flow, she can talk. Just because of that reason, they engage in infidelity. So there are so many reasons. But basically those three reasons are so paramount. Peer group, peer influence. Even married women. When they start, you said most statistics have shown now that most people even practice infidelity are married women and married men. Not even single people anymore. So it has gone to another level. So peer group, you see them, the clique of married women, they have other guys somewhere else. Number two, of course, because of distance from home. Your husband, your spouse is in Maryland, the other person is in North Carolina, and because of that distance, you just say that, come on, I need company tonight, and then you just go into infidelity. That's one of the reasons of infidelity. And of course, when you do not value and appreciate your partner.
So what do you advise these people who go on trips? That one, it's a very big one for me. What will you say to someone like, this is a way you can solve that problem, my brother? Like, you go out there and maybe you feel like you need company and all of that. What can he do to keep himself busy?
Number one, self-control. You see, not everybody has that, but you have to imbibe that. You might try to keep yourself busy with every other thing, reading books, even calling your wife 24/7, but you have to engage in that self-control. It will come. Even our Lord Jesus Christ was tempted. The devil, even after he fasted, the devil still walked up to him and tempted him. So temptations will definitely come, but Jesus controlled himself and overcame it by the word. So when those thoughts come, you just have to try for yourself to have that self-control. Number two, I know of a couple who, when the guy is sat there, even while driving and everything, he's talking to his wife. In the hotel room, he engages his wife, they talk and all that. If he has to use 2 or 3 days there, he engages his wife so much. He engages his partner. And so, because when you're talking to somebody all along in the hotel room, you're there, you watch movies, Christian movies, you hear a lot of stuff, your mind will be far away from being unfaithful.
Right.
So those are the things which you can do. But if you want to try and get yourself involved in movies or discussions and everything, no, don't let me get myself trapped into this because I don't want to practice infidelity. That's you still find yourself doing it.
Right.
You have to have the self-control. your body will ask for it sometimes. Your mentality, your mind will think about it, or you control yourself. Yeah, you see, big men of God don't know that. Some people fall not because they want to fall, but because of lack of self-control.
That's right.
So that is a big thing for me. Like I said, nobody's perfect. You have to control yourself, control your thoughts, control your reason. Know that you are here for a particular time and have the mentality and mindset you are going back to meet your partner. So why would you want to mess up just 2 or 3 days with a relationship you have built for a long time? Yeah. So that's a big one for me too.
Right. When we come to looking at infidelity, and there's, let's say, a situation where a man and a woman are together, they are not married, and the relationship is not defined, which of course I call it situationship.
Okay.
Whatever happens between those two people, do you call it infidelity? I mean, one person going to, you know.
That's not infidelity, because number one, they are not engaged. Number two, they are not committed with each other. They're just in a casual relationship, just like you said. So each and every one of them could do anything they want to do because there's no commitment involved. Suppose you are engaged to somebody, that means there's commitment. Okay? Casual relationships, to me though, I believe, well, if you want to be faithful, it has to do with your personal decision. If the guy is not faithful or the lady is not faithful, and you find out that it's involved in fidelity and you are angry, you know, people ask questions. Are you guys, are you just committed to each other? So if you are not committed to each other, the other partner has the right to be with somebody else. That's my personal view and opinion. Yeah, because there's no commitment, there's no emotional attachment. Because I always tell people, when you know you love somebody, you don't keep her alone for a long time, especially in relationships. The maximum 6 to 1 year. Why are you in a relationship for 4 or 5 years? Personally, I'm not in the marriage counseling session, but this is just a normal thing. Once you're dating somebody or in a relationship for courtship, 6 to 1 year, it's enough for you to know that person, to be, I can cope with this person for the rest of my life. But when you're in a relationship 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and say, I've been in that relationship, you see a lot of people there. Because number one, what you're supposed to cope in marriage, you're already expressing it in a relationship. And so the man can decide to see somebody else. The woman also can say, it's just being in a relationship with me, no plans to get married. So the lady sometimes thinks that, come on, this guy has been with me for 5 years, what's keeping him? If he really loves me, he'll get me engaged. And the guy also thinks about it. If this lady loves me, why would she allow me to marry her? So getting involved in a long-term relationship without any headway, if anybody gets into infidelity, I don't think nobody has the right to question nobody, because there's no commitment. You might say I want to marry you, but you've not taken that decision. These days you don't need $1 billion to marry a woman. So once you know you love this woman, you don't want to get yourself into any messy infidelity thing, get her engaged, get married, and forget about it. But if you're in a situational relationship like you said, and you believe that person has to be loyal to you 100%, you must be joking, because no commitment. Because if the worst comes to worst, people will tell you, come on, are you married to him? Are you married to her? No. So he's at liberty.
Wow. Thank you so much for that one. Thank you very much. We will be taking a short break right now, and of course we will be back after the break.
Alrighty.
Welcome back, viewers. I hope at this point you have started locating yourself and you're beginning to cut your T's and your I and dotting your I's, because we have had so much information already on infidelity. But that was not all I had for Mr. Shegu, so I will be asking him more questions. So, Mr. Shegu, do you think infidelity can be like someone who is a playboy and has not realized himself even at the age of 40, 45? Do you think that person can ever really be a good husband, like make a home, keep a home?
Well, like I said, it determines why is he been a playboy all these years? Is there any reason? Is it that he has being a playboy means maybe he has been in relationships and he has been heartbroken? Or maybe that's just his person, his character. It's just never serious.
Like narcissists, the narcissists are like that. Like it's just their thing.
Yeah, they just don't want to be serious. They just want to involve in infidelity. Well, If that kind of person, I don't expect any lady to be so attached to that. But you see, that's the funny thing. You see some ladies loving the wrong person.
Yeah.
You know this kind of person, you know his history. This person is never serious. This person is a playboy. This person will never take anything. Then you still find yourself in that relationship with that person. So once you say resist the devil, and you flee from you. When you know this is the nature and the character of this person, you don't have to have anything to do with that person. Because guess what? What the person will do is to hurt you. And at this level, no woman wants to be hurt anymore. If you don't know, it's different from the fact that you don't know. But now you know. This is somebody who everybody has known that this is his characteristics, this is his personality. He engages in women, one woman today, another one tomorrow, even 40, 45, not still married, not still in this relationship. So that person should be left alone. And if that person is listening to me, you have to just change. Because one day, they said you want to be a reverend father, you have to get married. So if you want to get married, every woman wants to marry a responsible man. Wants to marry somebody who they can say, okay, I trust him. Come rain, come sunshine. You don't want to marry somebody when you're like, I don't know what's up to now or what's he doing. You don't want to be in a relationship whereby you cannot even vouch a little bit that this is what this person can do or what cannot do. So my advice to ladies who understand such men is run, flee, because it's going to hurt you. And if you're that kind of person, like, just realize that you just like being around women, you don't just want to settle down 40, 45 years, still be the playboy. Please, you need to change. Because one day, except if you don't want to get married, you don't want to settle down, you have to change, turn a new life, and you'll be the better for it.
And I just want to add that even if he doesn't want to get married, it's risky. Because at old age, you may be struggling with your walking stick on your own.
Exactly.
Your kids have to go take care of their families. Or you want to spend your life at the nursing home. Well,
exactly.
That too works. I have an observation. I've had this situation with a couple of people in the course of our conversation, and it's like, what is your advice to those men who let their families mislead them and encourage them to leaving their partners and getting other partners? Like a man is married and maybe his mother or father or brother or sister still encourages him, to go for another woman. For some reason, maybe your wife is not educated, or she doesn't dress well, or she doesn't have kids, or this or that, all of that.
Yeah, that is totally wrong, in my own opinion. Because if a man and woman are married, I don't see any reason why there should be any interference from the parents. If there's any reason the parents would interfere, is for them to resolve issues. So if there are issues amongst them, or one of them has gone into infidelity and all that, they have to settle it amicably. Except if it's not, batterings and life-threatening. But if it's just little, societies like infidelity, you cut him and everything, and is ready to change, or she is ready to change, they should be able to resolve them. Not engaging them, or one of them is, okay, you know what, go see somebody else. That is not the role of parents. Parents are not supposed to do that. Because the Bible made it clear, a man shall leave. Leave his father and mother and join to his wife. So once that man is married to his bone of his bones, and to his flesh of his flesh. The role of the parent here now is an advisory role. An advisory role is, giving them positive advice, not influencing them negatively. Not trying to, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Except for, brutality, aggressiveness in marriage, except for that. But if it was just a case of infidelity that, they can resolve, they should be able to call both of them and ensure discipline, ensure they love again, and make sure that they still stick together against all odds. Not instigating one partner against the other. Okay, you know what? Because she has done, you two go and do your own. That's not the role of parents. That is totally uncalled for.
Right. And to someone out there listening to you who has, due to family ties, which I don't blame people when they find themselves in that situation, but I think to an extent they should be matured enough to find their way or work their way out of it. Of course, guys, we will be talking about family ties soon. So what is your advice to that person who is so attached to the mother or the father or some elder brother or something, who when we grow up, where we grew up from, you have this person, you have this fear for your parents, or it's a fear. I just call it fear. It's not respect. So you must do what they want you to do or they ask you to do. So what is your advice to that person out there who has grown up as a maybe mommy's son or mommy's daughter, and you're in a relationship with your partner, and your parent or your brother, your big brother or something, they keep pressurizing you, like this is not the right person, like he or she is not this or that. Go out there and get some other person. What is your advice to that person?
Okay. Family ties is everywhere. We are emotionally attached to our families, one way or the other. I'm emotionally attached to my mom also, But there should be a defining factor. You should be able to define it as a person. Okay? I'm not saying you should not love or hear the advices of your parents, or you'll be attached to one of them, father or mother. But in situations like this is your life. They have lived their lives, okay? Everybody's going to be a parent one day. So the first thing I also want to talk about is just make sure that you're taking a decision that will be the better for yourself. You are the one who's going to be in that marriage. You are the one who's going to be in that relationship, not them. So dictating who to marry or who not to marry, or taking go out of relationship or not, totally depends on you. Because number one, for you to have been involved in marriage or anything, you're above 30, if I'm correct. So you are matured. Now you are sensible. Now you have the mentality to think what is good for you. So my mother will not tell me if my wife made a mistake to just forget about my wife and start seeing somebody else. She wouldn't do that. If she says that, then I should take the decision. Because most of our parents too, some of them, tell us guidely, but some of them because of the family, because of the emotions, they tend to tell us things that we want to hear, which is not really good for us. So as a matured and adult person, you have to know what is right for you. Because in any case, they will live so long, they will go one day, it will remain you and that situation. So I always advise them that family ties or no family ties, make sure the decision you're going to take will be the one that will suit you. That will be the one that, okay, when you take the decision, you are the better for it. Not that, okay, I'm under the influence of my mother, my father, because of the family ties, they told me to do this and that, and that's I'm just following gullibly. I've seen a lot of people who have done that and have missed it. And then you can't blame your parents because they were just playing the advisory roles. Okay, so you are the one who should dictate your pace in life. You are the one who wants to be in that relationship. If the relationship is healthy, if it's not, you can decide because you know the person even better than them. Okay, so I would advise you to please take that decision yourself. Yes, you can listen to advices, but take that decision yourself because it's all about you.
And of course, my last but not the least questions, what is your advice to that couple out there who have experienced infidelity from one party or from both parties because they let themselves be carried away and they are tearing apart? But there is this lifeline that still reminds them that we want to be with each other. They are like cat and dog.
I know.
What is your advice?
Just one word: heal. Allow it to heal. Heal. Give it another chance. You see, there are so many things that happen in life that we don't just take just like the question. They are still together somehow. They still love each other then. Despite the fact that they've been involved in infidelity, it's almost turning them apart, but they are still together. So give your time another chance. Give yourself another chance. Make it work. Discuss. Talk about it. Pour new wine into this marriage or into this relationship. Make things work. Discuss. What are the ways by which you can navigate through life successfully? How can we build a happy home? How can we build a happy relationship? Talk about it. Discuss about it. Pray together. Seek counseling. That's one of the major things. A lot of people just want to forget about counseling. Well, there are some experts in this. They've had diverse experiences about issues like this. Talk to them. You see that after all these things, people, they come together and then they start life again afresh. So I wouldn't say because of that, no. There's still a lifetime touching them, connecting them together. They still like each other, but because of those hurts, just allow those hurt to heal. Let it go. You love the person. It's better. There's this idea that says the devil you know.
It's better than the angel you do not know.
It's better than the angel you don't know. So that person even though he has hurt you, she has hurt you, and you still love him. She's not aggressive. So please try as much as possible to heal. Let the ones just go, seek counseling, pray about it, and you see things jumping up back together.
Thank you, Mr. Jake. Thank you very much
You're
again.
welcome.
We appreciate you and thanks so much for coming.
Yes, my pleasure.
So, my beautiful people, we have come to the end of this session. Of course, we are always here. We may step out for a bit, but we are never leaving you. Voices with Claire is here to help you heal. For those of you who have been struggling with this particular issue of infidelity, listen, that friend who tells you or who told you you cannot fix your relationship because he cheated on you or she cheated on you, that friend will be sleeping at night with his or her partner, and you will be toiling and turning in your bed. So there is always going to be a way to fix. Remember, the Bible says, forgive 70 times 7. If we have to hold on to what we do to each other and we don't want to forgive, what about God, who is hurt every second, every nanosecond of his life, but he still forgives us? Why don't you just give it a try? If you're finding difficulties, you don't know how to go about it, it's hurting so bad that you think you have to let go, you can always send us an email. Send us an email, ask questions, seek advice. We are always here to help because we want your relationship to work. We want you to heal and have a better life. Thank you guys so very much again. We leave you right now, but of course we are always with you. We love you so much, and remember, God loves you more. Bye-bye.